I'm illustrating it with paper first because of the texture of the lace. The chalk might not be visible. I'm measuring my shoulder divided by 2. Then my sleeve length, how long you want the sleeve to be immediately after the shoulder divided by 2. Then you come down by 2 inches and connect it to your shoulder, where your shoulder divided by 2 ends. Then the width of your round sleeve, we are going to gather it. So I did mine 12 inches. I'm going to do mine 12 inches or 14 inches or so, because I want it to be more so that I'll be able to gather it. You measure your shoulder to knee and shoulder to floor length. Then your hip divided by 4 plus 4 inches is what we are going to use for that knee area. You do the same thing for the floor length, hip divided by 2 plus 4. You connect them together and then you connect it to the sleeve round. Whatever you have from your shoulder to sleeve length, you repeat the same thing on that sleeve round. Then you connect from your knee to your sleeve round and you cut it off. We are not touching the neck because we want the selvedge to be on the neck. So after opening it, this is what it should look like. Then you will gather the sleeve, the 2 sleeves. You gather them and put a band on it, or you use elastic, whatever works for you. Now we'll be going to work on lace. I used paper because my chalk might not be very visible on the lace. Here we go, shoulder to full length. Then you measure your neck, your shoulder divided by 2 plus ½ inch for joining. Then I am placing my sleeve length immediately after the shoulder. Then the length of my round sleeve. But before I forget, I am going to come down by 2 inches after the sleeve length, because I want it to relax on my sleeve. So I'm going to connect it back to the shoulder divided by 2. Shoulder divided by 2 to sleeve length. Then I came down by 2 inches. Then from that 2 inches, you measure your round sleeve. You can do your round sleeve times 2, multiply by 2 because of the gathering. After that, we are just repeating the same thing we did on the paper. Now I'm measuring my shoulder to knee length. Then my hip divided by 4 plus 4 inches, like we calculated earlier. Then I'll be connecting it to my round sleeve, just the way I am doing. I hope you understand. If you have any question, please drop it. Whatever I have on the knee divided by 2, I'm going to place it on the full length. If yours is longer than this, please make sure you join it. In case you need to join the down part and you don't have any other fabric left, you can use these pieces you can see, and you can use it to join it at the down part. Now I want to pin it. Now I folded my fabric into 4. I think you understand what I'm saying. So I cut the front and back together. I'm just trying to measure my shoulder divided by 2, just to get where I'm going to hold with pin, the ½ inch divided by 2. So I'm going to pin it down. The next thing to do now is I have already cut my band from the pieces I have left. So here is my band. I'm folding it into 2, then I'll stitch it down. Brown girl, can you do one last thing for me? That is what I'll use for the gathering. I am not using elastic. I'll do the same thing for the other side. Don't mind the shape. I used pieces. So now I have joined the down part because my 51 is not enough for the length of the dress. So I used the pieces to join the down part so that it will accumulate to be equal to what I want. Then I hem the down part of it. I did the same thing for the other side. Going to hem it down the other side. I forwarded it out. That is why it is very fast. Now I have already joined the shoulder. I didn't know I didn't record that part. I already joined the shoulder. Now I measured what I have on the person's round sleeve. Measure what you have on the person's round sleeve divided by 2 plus 1 inch. That is 1/2 inch for joining the both side. I got the mid part. That is where I pinned. Then I'm going to secure the 2 mid parts with pin, and I'm going to gather it on the band. If you like, you can gather first. You can gather the sleeve area first before placing it on the band, but I am gathering it with my hand. If you like, you can gather with needle and thread. If you like, you can use the machine gather for it before sewing it on the band, but it is easier for me because I have already pinned the middle together. That is why it is very easy for me to sew, to gather with my hand. I'll do the same thing for the second part. So can you see it? It's looking beautiful. I've done the same thing for the second part. Now it's time to join. It's time to join the two parts together. The sleeve. You know, after adding the band, I placed it together and I'm going to sew it down from the sleeve area down to the knee to the full length. Down to the knee to the full length. Can you see what I'm doing? But before I get to the full length, I am going to come up by 12 inches for slits. You know, if I did not open it, the person might not be able to walk freely. So from the hem parts, I went up by 12 inches from the hem. 12 inches from the hem. That is where my pin is. So the pin will indicate stop. When I get to that side, I'm going to stop sewing and I'm going to neatly hem the parts. Do not forget to serge where you just gather on the sleeve. Just serge or weave it. Then the sides too, you can serge the side too, just overlock it so that it will look neat. Then after that pin, what I did was just to neatly hem it. I hem that opening. That is what I did. Yes, like that. Can you see? Yes, I hem it. I've done the same thing for the second side, and this is what it's looking like. Can you see the neck area? Then the sleeve. It is so beautiful. Let's see what it looks like on the mannequin. Wow, this is so beautiful. And let's also see how it looks like on the client, on the customer. Wow, look at it. It is sitting pretty on her shoulder. Look at the sleeve. Look at the full length. Everything is so perfect.